But let's look at a simplistic look at some of these foods. Meat. All you have to do is get a knife and cut off a piece of your meat somewhere, cut a piece of your hindquarters, cut a piece of yourself off. That's exactly what meat is. It's a bunch of cells and two fluids. And that holds true with every creature. Bunch of cells and two fluids. And that's what you call healthy. Well, the problem is that as soon as something dies, putrefaction in terms of meat and blood comes setting in. Putrefaction, you can smell that pretty quick. How fast does fish stink when you pull it out of the water? Pretty quick, huh? And we consider that nutritious. We don't, but some people do. What do we got? We got a bunch of amino acids that have become peptides and polypeptides forming proteins. Well, now it's funny how the body has to then re-break that all down to amino acids, doesn't it? Because tissue is formed from proteins or amino acids, right? And amino acids then forms the peptides and polypeptides and then the protein, the meat, the structure. But when we go to eat that structure, what are we eating? We're eating dead tissue. We're eating a structure that's breaking down and rotting. And we like that. The blood, of course, whoo! Ever smell blood? Putrefactive blood? Not good. You ever smell a human dying? Not good. Not good. But we like that. Matter of fact, ask most farmers, most people like aged beef. That's 6 months, not 2 or 3. That's 6 months hanging on the hoof. We just cut off the mold, of course, that which is trying to break it down, because God needs those atoms, of course. And yet we consider that good for you. High phosphorus, high iron, low cal magnesium, the opposite of what we want. If you go back and look at properly raised vegetables and fruits and berries, you will find properly picked ripe. All right, so we'll set that as the foundation. We already know we have crap foods in America. We already know people like Yaz in Thailand are sitting there gorging on some of the best food in the world. Spain having some of the best food. A lot of countries south of France having really good food. America, we've lost our caring for quality of food. I'm sure there are some farmers out there that are participating in that consciousness of quality. But they're a handful probably in the whole spectrum of things, and for some reason Florida seems to not get the good stuff. So here on protein, most people can't just go out and eat raw meat. There's nothing designed on a human that would give you an indication you're a meat eater. You don't have the desire to rip something apart, and matter of fact, unless it's on the Barbie, unless you put some spices or cook the crap out of it or whatever, it doesn't taste good. Now, some people like raw meat, no question. I've seen that. Nasty to me, because this is just putrefaction at its finest. And so we consider that healthy. Well, most fruits and vegetables are 70 to 80% base chemistry. That's your calcium, magnesium, your sodiums, your potassiums, your zincs. These are the alkaline chemistries. And only 20% acid chemistry. The ratio is dominant on the base chemistry side. The ratio of this air on this planet is dominant base, rapidly becoming acidic. And look what's happening. Lung cancer skyrocketing, deterioration of paints and buildings, mutation of fish and frogs just as the rain is pulling these acids into the lakes. When things get over acidic, deterioration and mutation takes place. It's not a brainstorm. It's easy to see that. So you're eating a food and meat predominantly acidic. Well, you don't hit your blood with a pH below 7.4, 7.3, or what's going to happen? The law of homeostasis, where now the body has to rectify that acidosis in a timely manner, or death is imminent. You can't run an acid blood without dying within a few minutes. Remember that. So when you eat a lot of high proteins, you're acidifying the blood. Well, see you later. Body has to find alkaline chemistry, base chemistry, and of course calcium is the predominant base chemistry of the human body. So it'll steal it out of your connective tissue, out of your bones, because you can't eat a high phosphorus diet and survive well. And yet medical doctors push that. That's the insanity of that particular modality. I mean, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right on down the line and see where the medical modality is living in a world far, far away and just crazy. They're ridiculous. You sit and listen what some of you guys have been through and some of my clients have been through, most of them. And it's just, it's sad. It makes you want to hang your head at the human species and the human intellect to see things that are so stupid, things that are so we allow to happen to other people. And what people do to other people, I think it's just atrocious. But we're a high meat eating society, which totally changes the molecular structure of things, totally changes the magnetic resonance of the body. This is why magnetic therapy is so beneficial for you. Because all this is magnetism, all this is pH. Remember, pH affects solutions and affects how everything functions, basically. All these different levels of pHs affect everything. It's amazing, and it's beyond comprehension. We in biochemistry all disagree, remember, and basically work on theories. Well, we don't have to go there because it's easy to see in clinical practice what raw foods do to people. And nowhere are you going to find cooked foods better than raw foods. Only when you're detoxing too rapidly and you want to slow it down or you want the body to stop healing itself, then eat cooked food because it's dead. At least vegetables carry some electromagnetic energy after it's cooked. Meat doesn't carry any. Alive, raw meat is just like you. It's vibrating with lots of energetics. But that rapidly changes as soon as death occurs. And that soul or that consciousness leaves that embodiment, then the body decays. Okay, that's life.